I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It's my delight to welcome our next guest, Geraldina. Why? She's an extraordinary woman, not only an artist, a business leader, a community leader, and a friend who I've seen in action for a very long time in our great region, making sure that as an entrepreneur, not only is she giving time to her business, but also making time for our community. Please welcome Geraldina Weiss. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. What a pleasure to finally sit down with you.
Oh, thank you. I know you're busy. You've got so much going on, but I would be remiss if we didn't share your story as an artist, as a person who has had just an incredible trajectory. So let's start with that for folks who may not be familiar with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
It's always touching to tell my story, so thank you for giving me space to do so. It all starts in the San Salvador volcano, where I grew up with a wonderful family, extended family, and being deposited in the ravines of the volcano every Saturday since I was about 8 years old to take art lessons with a protege of Diego Rivera, who had come back from being with him and making the biggest splash in the art world. As you know, Mexico came into the art world through these muralists, and this trickles down to me, and I'm still in awe of how did this happen to me. And let me tell you, let's not be remiss in understanding that it's about powerful women in our communities. My mother was one of those, but is one of those people. She's still alive. She's 90 years old. And she saw something different in me. And she sought out this woman. And there I am. So that's the beginning. Um, that beginning of privilege, needless to say, of being able to do art and learn art since a small age, came with a big baggage, which was watching the children from the ravine in the worst of housing, if you call that housing, watching me every Saturday. And there starts my story. It's always understanding there are many sides to us. We're all one. We were all one with the volcano and the ravine. There was no difference between those children and myself. And yet, I had to go further for them.
And you have, and you have embedded yourself in this community. And certainly we have many things in common in terms of our love for this great city. But one is our beloved Dr. Dorothy Karam, who's recently passed. And I'm so happy that you and I recently were at Rice University to celebrate her life and so many people that she has touched. And she's left us in charge of a whole lot of business. And one of them is the museum. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I do feel the weight of what she has done, not as a bad weight, but that is a good weight.
Yes.
That so many of us saw what that kindness and deep, genuine care for the community looks like in action. She was that action person. You are that action person. I want to be that action person, and therefore, when the idea floated around for about 10 years in Houston before COVID around, what can we do for our community? We need to lift our community. And I had those meetings with Dorothy Karam and Nelly Fraga and David Contreras about, it was about, well, what legacy institutions we have. We have legacy institutions. And, what can we do for them? And I kept saying, but we are the center of the United States of America. These legacy institutions are not positioned to take on what should be happening for our Latinos, especially Dr. Murillo during COVID, when silence, our erasure was happening and nobody was noticing. Did you notice? Did you hear the sound of that silence?
And yet we were the essential workers keeping America going. And our community was the one stepping up and risking our lives. And we lost many lives during that time. But what a special tribute to the many Latinos who have been part of this community to say, we have a home where we can tell our stories, which is very much why this interview with you is so important. These interviews that we've conducted over 15 years now to tell the stories of success so that we can see people like you who have succeeded, are giving back, are walking in very important circles representing us. And showcasing to young people, to entrepreneurs, that it's possible. So as an entrepreneur, what advice would you like to share with people who perhaps are starting a business or are out there every day working hard to keep their businesses thriving?
Laura, probably the most important thing I have learned, and it's learning in progress, is that we tend to believe as Latinos that money is the most important currency. I have to tell you that our actions should speak louder than that thought, that really it's our relationships that are our best currency. Latinos are very good at that. That's one of the reasons we do super good aging, because we forge deep relationships, because we can hug and mean it, because we can look into each other's eyes, even if we haven't seen each other in 20 years, and love on each other. Am I right about that?
Absolutely.
So the true currency is relationships. Well, that extends well beyond family and well-being. It extends into doing the right thing for others, existing in an ecosystem, not by yourself, not everything being about hoarding currencies, but sharing currencies. That's why, let's go back to Dorothy Karam. She showed us the way for that. She lifted you and many others, right? Because that was her currency. I believe that Latinos need to join in that currency in a visible way, in a forcible way, and show up at things that unite us, that unite Houston. It's not about separating. Forming Alma, the new Latino museum for the US American, is not really about separating. I had to learn that genuinely in leading this cause, that it was about uniting us, giving us a place to showcase, to understand us, and to love on each other, to be proud and inspire the new generations, but also to allow space for others. So it is that currency of showing up. I think it's the cultural realm, the spiritual realm. I am a spiritual person, coincides with the cultural realm. They're not that separate. Matter of fact, I just heard a sermon saying that God loves beauty. And in the beauty, there is God. And I'm like, wow, that's just deep for an artist, right? That I know that. I kind of live that, but I want everybody to know that we're not separated. We are in one realm where the cultural, the beauty, the aesthetic, the visual, the arts lift us, unite us, and bring us into this communal lift, not unlike church and sermons and pastors do. So I urge people to think about not only making the money, I know it's important, but also have space for that lifting community together, introducing. I'll tell you a very clear example of what I think the new currency is. It's the sharing of information. Information is knowledge. Information is power. So let's share. Let's make sure. That's what we're doing right now, Laura. This is exactly what we're doing right now. We are sharing our gold with others because we want to lift others. Anybody that listens says, oh, I like what she says. That was important today. That's why I showed up today. That's why you keep showing up. So coming out, staying connected, let Alma connect us. Let us give you the information of what is happening in Houston. Come out, show your faces, show your children how it's done. Show the young, isolated kids in high school that are wondering, what are they? Well, show them what others are about. Show them what the careers in the arts and how it can lift. You can be a part of it. You don't have to have a career in the arts to partake of it at all. You can be someone who just loves it and lifts with the arts.
And can appreciate more than just the beauty of looking at it, but also the way it brings us together. And you've dedicated your life to this. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do, and that you've got many friends here at the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you very soon. Have a super day.